if killing 1,000 Lebanese people in a week, including 50 children, is nothing to celebrate, is not okay.
There's a difference between celebrating
it. We must ask ourselves, why is Israel, to your point, dropping 80 tons of explosives to destroy civilian neighborhoods? Is that self-defense?
We know why they're dropping. Is
it a war crime or is it a violation of international law?
No, it's not a war crime. They are dropping rockets to destroy munitions hidden by terrorist groups in civilian residential homes.
So isn't Israel also a terrorist group if their own minister, is convicted and charged with terrorism?
No, it's called self-defense.
It's called self-defense. You're saying Israel has a right to defend itself on another nation's sovereign territory? That's self-defense?
Yes.
Perhaps you should read humanitarian law. Julia, with all due respect.
I mean, literally, I don't think you understand international
law makes it very clear that one war crime does not justify another. No. International law also makes it very clear that Israel does not have a right to self-defense on land that it occupies illegally in contravention to not just international law.
I don't take much notice of what the UN thinks about anything, to be honest with you.
It's been 42 years since the United Nations, which, by the way, Israel has demonized and disregarded and discredited. It's been 42 years since the General Assembly has voted that Israel's occupation, that Israel is illegal.
Yes, I know. The UN has been totally, again, I don't have much time for the UN. I'm not going to go into the history of the UN. I don't have any time for a body that thinks that China and Russia should have any say over, or Iran, over anything that happens in the Western world. I'm sorry, no, I don't. Here's the thing. I'm trying to get back to the point of the question we were talking about.
Go ahead.
What do you think? Let's go back to the second question. What would be an acceptable reaction from Israel to having rockets fired into their territory for a year and 60,000 of their people displaced? What do you think would not be a war crime and would be acceptable?
You're saying
answer my question.
I'll answer your question.
It's a really easy question.
Yeah, it's a really easy question. 60,000 people displaced is very concerning in Israel. What about 1 million people displaced?
What about? I don't know that. So what would be an appropriate response from Israel? What would you find acceptable? You've told me all the things that they've done and that you could do that would be war crimes. What would be acceptable to you?
I would find it acceptable if Israel stopped violating international law, stopped mass murdering children, and if the US and the UK, who say they want a ceasefire, but their words ring hollow as they continue to arm and defend Israel's campaign of terror, their campaign